This message is from Virgin Mary. She said, "A World War III is coming. It's gonna happen." She said it's still avoidable. People can, with their prayer, it's more like if humanity changes, it's still avoidable. But she openly said a World War III is coming up if humanity doesn't change. It's going to that direction. She's been saying that for a long time. One of the Fatima messages about this, it's the third secret of Fatima. She kept saying that some sort of a chastisement is coming up. I don't like that word at all. It's punishment from God. Now, the way she was saying it, I was thinking at least the punishment is going to come from God, from heaven. In Akita, Japan, she said it again, if people don't stop offending God, a punishment is coming up on humanity. But in this one, she was clear. Some other places too, she said it, like she kind of corrected, and she said it, the punishment is going to come from human race by itself. And she's now, this latest message that she gave, she said some sort of a punishment or something, it's going to come from human race. A World War III is going to start. She gave this message to some religious group in Brazil and Uruguay. They're based on Brazil. She gave the message in April 15, 2018, like a month ago. So she's saying it's avoidable. Still, humanity can avoid this, can change the course. But I don't know how it's going to be avoidable. I mean, unless you get a hold of the humanity, a good chunk of it, at least 20% of it, so people, they start to change, they start to pray, more importantly, they start to come closer and closer to God, because humanity is far from God in general. Generally speaking, they are far from God. So, is it avoidable? She's saying that yes, it's avoidable, but you need to put a lot of effort in it to go and knock everybody's door, basically, telling people to change, to be good, behave, don't do evil things. Once in a while, go to the church, even that you don't understand, as a respect to God, as a respect towards the Creator. Go there, and it's between you and God, never mind what they tell you in the front. You're going there to respect God. That's important. That's the whole thing. That's the most important thing, is that. Tell this message to your friends, to your acquaintances, so people will know. I'm going to leave all the places where you can go and find those guys. They're called divinamadre.org. How can you avoid it? Start wearing religious things on you. Have some religious things in your house, in your car, a cross or something that is religious. Time to time, go to the church. You can take a vacation. You have to do sacrifice. At one point, somebody needs to do sacrifice. Things that are not going to happen by themselves. Take a vacation, go to these pilgrimage places. Um, Majigorji, it's very, very good. It's in Yugoslavia. It's former Yugoslavia. Um, some other place, Fatima or Lourdes in France. Fatima, it's in Spain. And my preferred place is with those guys. It's in South America, Brazil. Brazil and Uruguay, they have a few centers. Um, Jesus and Virgin Mary has been appearing to this religious group for a while now. They're giving messages, and I followed a lot. I follow them a lot. The apparitions are genuine. I myself have seen Jesus Christ, and if I'm backing them up, there is a reason why I'm backing them up. I'm putting my credibility online by backing them up, but that is because I know it's genuine. The apparitions are genuine. I will videotape it and put it part of the video, and to tell you, and I will videotape and tell you how you can go and find it on Divina Madre on the internet, and how you can find the message exactly where to find it. Virgin Mary gave the message on April 15, 2018. If you can, well, me, that's kind of private. This part is private. Privately to me, an angel told me in my dream that it's going to rain fire. But now they're making it very clear that this punishment, some sort of a punishment, it's going to come from the human race by human race itself. It's not funny, it's not. I'm going to read the message that Virgin Mary gave. She told to one of the visionary, one of the person who was seeing Virgin Mary, imagine for a moment 3/4 of the world in the days of darkness, because in truth what the world is provoking is to attract more darkness to the earth. Many think that the sun will be hidden for 3 days, but in truth, if nations do not stop provoking wars, and above all do not stop promoting them as if it were the latest fad of these times, worse situation will happen, things that nobody would ever expect. I would say violent results, violent ends. Today an angel of God removes a painful thorn from my immaculate heart, and even though the prayers of the nations are permanent and that protects South America, on the other hand, my adversary is conquering the power and ostentation of his allies on earth more and more. If the weapons do not stop being activated, as I once said in Fatima, a third world, even worse, would be unleashed overnight. That possible darkness that could reign on the planet and hide its 3/4 would be the effect of chemical gases and warlike weapons, something unprecedented. The effect of the self-destruction of a part of humanity would be so violent that after the ones who provoke the wars activates their weapons, late will they realize that the power got out of their hands, unable to stop the effect and consequences. Today, through the pain of my heart, I bring this reality so that by all means, offers and sacrifices, it may be avoided. Imagine it again, the planet submerged in a darkness caused by a harmful effect of nuclear weapons. Men, because of their interest, are playing with the humanity. And although the promise of the return of Christ will be fulfilled, the most definitive moment of the race is still waiting to be gone through, and the moment is about to happen. In the meantime, do not stop praying, because in this way your Heavenly Mother will continue to work on the spiritual plane against her adversary in order to remove from the weak mind the idea of the activation of weapons. Now the time has come more than ever to join your guardian angels so that your spiritual life is protected from the invasive persecution that the war in Middle East is generating. That is the reason why your Heavenly Mother wishes to arrive soon at the Northern Hemisphere, not only to intervene in those who provoke the wars, but also to protect the millions of European souls that will witness a destruction without limits as an effect of what their representatives do in Middle East. Therefore, sleep and restore the consciousness, but always have a part of your being well awake, because in an unexpected way everything could be triggered. Pray even more from the heart, so that your Heavenly Mother and all the angels may be able to intercede and avoid irreparable disasters. While my heart hurts, I sustain myself with the loving prayer of those who join me in this difficult cycle. I thank you for responding to my call. Your Mother, Virgin Mary. The message originally is in Spanish, because the guy is Spanish. They have translator, and the translator is translating it to English. Now how, I'm sure she's gonna make a little bit mistakes, but not mistakes, but the exact words, words like they have power, and when you translate from one language to the other language, you cannot get exactly the same tone, the exact, you're not going to hit the exact note probably. So, but overall, I'm sure she's able to do a good job. We get the whole core of the message, and boy, this is not funny. I don't find this funny at all. Jesus said a few months ago, what you hear on the news, it's barely a small percentage of the reality. You're barely seeing 1% of the reality or something like that. There is a lot of things, and many things, a lot of things your government are not telling you, and they're hiding it from you. It's just something that I'm not surprised at all. Doesn't surprise me. Pray, go close to God, be close to God. Prayer should come everything from you, from inside you. Not the automated things that you just grab it and repeat it. You can do some of it. Some of my maybe preference one is the prayer that angel taught to Fatima kids. Take that prayer. You can pray that prayer. The Virgin Mary or Jesus taught some prayers to this Divina Madre group. You can pray those prayers, but the most important is a prayer that comes completely from you, because you are talking to God, and go just sit down and talk to God, straight to God. Be sincere and talk to God. Every day spend a little bit of time talking with God. Come closer and closer. Stay close to God. Okay, thank you, people. Slowly I will start explaining things about God and how heaven works. About the Bible, it's so difficult to understand the Bible. It's extremely difficult. That's one of the reasons that I did not start talking. I mean, I have seen Jesus just like if you were standing here, you would see me just like that. I have seen Jesus. But the understanding part, it's extremely complicated. Extremely. It's super complicated. Uh, there is many reasons for that, and slowly I have to talk about those things. Not I cannot just rush it, put everything, push everything. The Bible is difficult to understand. It's a difficult instrument. One of their Well, there is few things. It's not just one thing. One of their biggest thing is they speak in parable, and you have to try to figure out what they're saying. Okay, thank you. God bless you. It will not be the correct word. I cannot use that word because I understand a lot of things, so I cannot. Even though I would love to say God bless you for listening to watching this video, I cannot use that word because it's wrong. May God's light shine through you for others, people surrounding you to see. And it's a figurative way, it's in a double sense way. Okay, thank you. Just push the pause button. It's going to make it easier so you can read. Okay, those guys are very difficult to understand. This is their website. You have to go on the left, push on English, then they made it so difficult. Here they had a prayer, I think. You click here, then you go, I believe, Virgin Mary or messages right here. History of message of Virgin Mary. Oops. And we go here, April 15. Yeah. They have all the messages from her, from Jesus, here, and from Saint Joseph. They actually have a very nice book, but it's written in Spanish. This is the actual message, so you can go read it yourself. Thank you.